What I loved about the Mad Men era.
Well, in the Mad Men era,
I think that in Mad Men,
in this show, it's still all about...
Things are a lot different than what they were in the 60s.
At least on the television show.
I think that in Mad Men, the media was very different. There was print and outdoor and television, not even television, I think, or just the beginning of television. Whereas today, the span and the breadth and the options of media have changed and multiplied.
The biggest thing for me is the liquor. The amount of liquor that people drink during the day in that era, it's pretty insane.
And we drink a lot less, I think, and we smoke a lot less.
Well, in the Mad Men era, they had a very narrow canvas, really only two media. One was print, one was TV, whereas today in the digital age, there's a plethora of media. So this is probably the most exciting time to be in advertising.
The reason people do it and what gets us excited is still the same. I think what's changed is the way that we go about it and ultimately the impact that we can have.
I just think, the consumer has so many options now, and I think this is the best time ever to be in advertising. I think it's, the fact that you don't know what the answer is going to look like. It's not going to be necessarily, like in the old days, a print ad or a TV commercial or a radio spot. You just don't know what it's going to be, and that's a wonderful problem to have.
Well, one of the great changes is that women can now actually be presidents and CEOs of agencies. That's a plus.
At Amusement Park Entertainment, things are a lot different than what they were in the 60s. We do general market work. We do apps, video games, television shows, movies, and the people that create that stuff for me, for the brands as well as for ourselves, are Latino, Asian, African American, as well as white. So it's a lot more of a mix than there was in the 60s.
In this show, it's still all about ideas and persuasion and selling ideas, and it's still like that today, except that today an idea can be anything and go anywhere and be a piece of content or a piece of film or a product or an event.
And I think those guys who came from that era had to always push forward in order to get everyone to understand that this is an industry that's being formed called advertising. And now, the clients accept that. They accept the business model of hiring agencies, and they want to be more a give and take, more reciprocity in the relationship than it was, at least on the television show.
The main difference between back then and now is we've tried to turn advertising into a profession. It isn't. It's still the circus. And back then, people were fearless about making stuff up. Now we're trying to turn it, into a profession. It's not a profession. This is a creative industry where you invent stuff, you make stuff up, and you're fearless about it. That's what the Mad Men had.
I think in some ways we're much smarter about how we deliver information to all of our consumers, and in some ways it startlingly hasn't changed a lot. I think we also have a lot more advocacy in mind for our clients. I think we try to be more strategic in terms of how we talk to our customer.
The future will be about mad women, because back then it was a macho world of mass media. Now it's a conversational, nurturing, multitasking world, and women are going to rule that one.
Good creative is still the best idea, and if you're Don Draper, you get to walk into a room and people listen to you. It's because he's doing better work than everybody else. That's the same.